What's up, baseliners? We got another great episode coming your way today. Sit back, relax, and welcome to the show. All right, welcome back to the Baseline Facetime podcast, episode 20. If you're watching on YouTube, you can see I got my old throwback, like youth-sized Dwayne Wade jersey on. Man, I mean, I've only got one thing to say following that Game 3 W that we're going to get into. The only thing I can say is Jimmy G Buckets. The G stands for Gets, as the Chicago Bulls old announcer used to say while he was there. A phenomenal 40-point triple-double from Jimmy Butler, down 2-0, back against the wall to get it done in Game 3 for the Miami Heat, leading the way. And like I said, we're going to get into that. We're just going to break down. So our last episode, episode 19, was a NBA Finals preview episode. And now we're 3 games into the NBA Finals, and we're just going to break it down, talk about what we've seen so far, talk about, what we're looking for, what I'm looking for moving forward in this series. But also a notable thing that has gone on in the NBA world is the 76ers hiring of Doc Rivers, getting him from the Los Angeles Clippers, a big deal, a signing that I'm definitely happy about. And, it kind of came down to Ty Lue, Mike D'Antoni, and Doc Rivers. When Doc became available, I knew that was who I wanted in Philly. I think that was pretty clear for Philadelphia fans and the organization as a whole. That's the guy they wanted to get. And so, pretty noteworthy stuff there. Again, I don't think Mike D'Antoni would have been a great fit there just because of his style of offense, and the players that the Philadelphia 76ers have might not have been a very good fit in Philadelphia. All right, and so NBA Finals action again. Game 1, the Los Angeles Lakers were able to get it done in a pretty convincing fashion. I forget their highest lead in that game, but they won that game 116-98. A great game from AD and LeBron once again. AD with a 34.9 rebound, 5 assist performance. LeBron with 25, 13 boards, and 9 assists in that one to get it done. For the Los Angeles Lakers. Their third leading scorer in that one was KCP, Kentavious Caldwell-Pope, dropping 13. And obviously, again, they didn't need a whole lot from their supporting cast to win this one in convincing fashion. Jimmy and Tyler Herro led the way with 23. Jimmy had 23, Tyler Herro with 14 in this one. But most notably were the injuries to 2 of the key Miami Heat starters in Bam Adebayo and Goran Dragic. Bam and Goran both left the game in that one, and obviously it's had a huge impact on the series, so they have not been seen again in Games 2 or Game 3, and we'll talk about the impact that those losses, again, because those aren't just like role players for this Miami Heat team. Goran has been leading the charge maybe in scoring, actually, with like 20, 21 points a game during the playoffs. He was very impactful in the Boston Celtics series and the series with Milwaukee as well. And Bam, obviously, we know what he's able to do, an all-star this year, an all-NBA defensive team performer this year. His impact is missed tremendously, obviously, with him kind of holding it down there in the paint for the Miami Heat. And then we move on to Game 2. Again, Game 1, LA wins in convincing fashion. Game 2, LA is able to get it. Again, AD had 32 and 14 boards. LeBron just missed a triple-double with 33, 9, and 9 in the Lakers' 124-114 victory. A little more competitive. Miami Heat tried to make a charge, I believe, in the third quarter. And even playoff Rondo stepped up a little bit in this one, hit a big 3 late in the third to kind of put a halt, if you will, to a Miami Heat run that they were on. Playoff Rondo had 16, 10 assists, and 4 boards. I know we alluded to him possibly showing out in this series in our last episode. We talked about him maybe having an impact, and he definitely had his impact and put an imprint on Game 2 to seal the Lakers' victory. Again, 124-114. The Miami Heat, led by Jimmy Butler with 25, 13 assists. I believe that is a career high for him, and 8 rebounds. Kelly Olynyk, who has stepped in, who didn't see a lot of action in their previous series with the Boston Celtics. Kelly Olynyk had 24 in this one off the bench. Tyler Hero was 17. And the Lakers in this one, in games 1, 2, and 3, actually hit more threes than the Miami Heat did, which is, I don't think, anything we all expected. We expected Miami Heat to lead the way when it comes to hitting threes, and Miami had I'm not sure if they had like 11 or 12 in this one, but the Lakers had 16 threes in game 2. Again, able to win it by a double-digit total, and without Bam and without Goran in this one, Miami was just shorthanded, obviously, and they needed those guys in this one, but the Lakers were able to take a 2-0 commanding lead. And then we come to Sunday night game 3, Sunday the 4th of October, and there's word going around that Bam was going to play in this one, and it's like, okay, that could actually make a difference for the Heat. Maybe they need him, right? Game 3 rolls around, Bam out, Goran Dragic out, and you're like, there's no way they can get this done. And if you're telling me that you thought Miami had a chance in this one, you're lying, because as soon as I found out those guys were out, I wrote this game off. I said, okay, LeBron's up 2-0. LeBron is facing a starting lineup that is missing 2 key players. He's facing, a starting lineup and a key contributor in Kelly Olynyk, right, who's the second leading scorer for the Miami Heat. It does not look pretty. A young team without even a veteran leader in Dragic and without an all-star in Bam, there's no way they're getting this thing done. But then, again, as we alluded to earlier, Jimmy G buckets in this one, a 40-point triple-double, 13 assists yet again, and 11 boards in this one. Kelly Olynyk again leading the charge, or being second in the charge of points with 17. Tyler Hero also having 17 yet again. LeBron just short of a triple-double with 25, 10, and 8 assists. AD, quiet game for him. We know what he's been able to do recently in the previous series. His lowest scoring total in the previous series with the Nuggets was 27. In this one, he had 15 and 5 boards. So not sure what went wrong for AD there. Markieff Morris and Kyle Kuzma both had 19 apiece off the bench, which is interesting to note because, coming into this series, you're like, if they're going to get 19 from a couple guys off the bench, this series is over. Because the one area that they need is help from their supporting cast in this series, and they got it, but it was still the game that they actually ended up dropping, even though getting very good, strong bench production. They actually had 14 threes in this game as well. But again, Jimmy Butler just proved to be too much in this double-digit win, 115 to 104. They got a little chippy, actually, with LeBron. I don't know if you saw, but LeBron, I think at the end of the first quarter, he said something to Jimmy that drew some attention. He said, it's over. He said, you're in trouble. That's what he said. He said, you're in trouble. And then Jimmy Butler turned it on after that. Again, 40 points, and at the end of the fourth, or toward the end of the fourth with like a minute left after this game was pretty much put away for the Miami Heat, Jimmy approached LeBron and said, you're in trouble, right? And he was on fire. He was pumped up, and he returned back to the huddle saying, they're in trouble, they're in trouble. Again, I think this game 3 for the Miami Heat kind of characterized what they were able to do all year. Right, kind of an underdog mentality. Jimmy has said it time and time again throughout this season that, man, we've got some good players on this team. Man, we've got a good team here. You just got to believe me, kind of thing. And they proved to do it with their back against the wall, shorthanded. Jimmy was able to lead the way for them. So, very, very happy for Jimmy. Really an incredible performance when you think about it. Again, Jimmy Butler, a guy who loves these moments. He loves these moments. He's never been in the finals, but you can just tell down 2-0, he was going to come out and play his best game of the series. And even the post-game presser, they called it the best game of his career. And it definitely is, considering the stakes and considering he he doesn't play like that, the Miami Heat go down 3-0, and the series is a wrap, right? So Jimmy able to get it done again, and again, he didn't play or shoot, if you will. He didn't shoot particularly well in the regular season. I think near 23% from three, but Jimmy is a different guy when it matters more, right? I mean, he turns into an absolute dog, and it's something that, again, characterizes this whole team. Back against the wall, they're going to step up. They're not going to back down from anybody. They've got some really, really good players on this team, even with the two key contributors being out in this one. So now, moving forward, right? Looking ahead, we look ahead to Game 4 in this series. Miami Heat down 2-1. They got to go and get this one. I think if they go down 3-1, then we're all sitting back to where we were after Game 2 and saying this series is over, right? Miami Heat needs to go out. The Miami Heat need to go out and get Game 4, I believe. If they want a chance in this series, they need to knot it up at 2, and that's going to require a lot, and that's probably going to require even more all hands on deck from the Miami Heat. Because Game 4, LeBron is going to show up, right? Game 4, LeBron coming off a loss, he does not, and Anthony Davis do not want this series to be knotted at 2. So don't be surprised if LeBron comes out with a monstrous triple-double. Don't be surprised if AD comes out and drops 30-something again, because they're probably going to have their best game of the series, or they're definitely going to try to, and try and put this one away with a commanding 3-1 lead. I fully expect a great game from LeBron James in Game 4. So my outlook on this series now, I originally had said the Los Angeles Lakers, in 6 in this one, and I'm going to stick to that. I've got a chance to get that right. It was not looking good after 2 games, and I was definitely saying, okay, it's going to be a sweep now, considering what LA was able to do. But I do think this is how it's going to play out. Given LeBron coming out and having a strong game in Game 4, that's my prediction. I think that they're going to take Game 4, take a commanding 3-1 lead. Everyone can go back and relax and say, okay, Lakers are in control. Then I think the Miami steal a game in Game 5, and then the Lakers all wrap it up in Game 6, hopefully with the Black Mamba jerseys on. That would be phenomenal. I really hope they don't wear those again until it's an opportunity to close out the series and get that 4th win and get yet another championship for the Los Angeles Lakers. Bring LeBron his 4th ring and his 4th, with his 3rd team, right? So 2 with the Miami Heat, 1 with the Cleveland Cavaliers, and now his 1st with the Los Angeles Lakers would be just a tremendous accomplishment in the fantastic career of LeBron James. All right, and so the other thing I think worth noting in this series, other than the key injuries and things, but if the Lakers are able to get it done, something we talked about on the previous episode, who's going to be the Finals MVP, right? That's kind of the debate that we find ourselves in, AD or LeBron. AD with a quiet Game 3 that may play a factor into who gets the Finals MVP if the Lakers are able to get it done. I'm still sticking with LeBron. I think he'll get the MVP. I think, again, he's been near a triple-double each game in the series. I fully expect him to come out on fire in Game 4. I mean, he did not look happy as he walked off the court in Game 3. So expect LeBron in the finals to fully show up in this one. A stat worth noting is with Jimmy Butler's 40.13 assist, 11 rebound performance in Game 3. He's the first player ever in a series in which LeBron is in the finals to outscore, out-rebound, and out-assist LeBron in one game, right? So even given LeBron teams that he's played against or with his teammates, rather, even too, first player ever to outscore, out-rebound, and out-assist LeBron James in a NBA Finals game. Impressive stuff from Jimmy Butler. That's the only word that I can use to describe it. Very, very, very impressive. he's got that dog in him, right? And he's going to continue fighting. He fully believes, and you can tell that he thinks that they can get this thing done. And as much as I would love to see them do it, we'll see what happens. I think it would be key for them to get Bam and Dragic back. I don't know exactly their status moving forward with this series. There was, again, talk of Bam playing in Game 3. He obviously did not. We'll see if he's able to play here tomorrow. On Tuesday, I believe, is Game 4. That's Game 4. Game 5, there's a couple days off in between. It is scheduled for Friday. And then Game 6 would be Sunday. Game 7, if necessary, would be next Tuesday. So the NBA season has, at max, a little just over a week left in it. So just enjoy it while you can. Tune into these games, and we'll see if the Miami Heat can knot it at 2 or if the Los Angeles Lakers will take a commanding 3-1 lead. But again, that's all we've got for today, a short episode just to catch up on the NBA Finals action so far. We'll be back either at the conclusion of the series to wrap up, or maybe a little like Game 6, Game 7 preview or something like that we can obviously have to look forward to. But again, that's all we've got. Stay tuned for more episodes from us. Be on the lookout, and enjoy the rest of the NBA Finals. We'll see you next time. Hey, thanks so much for tuning in to this episode of the Baseline FaceTime podcast. If you haven't already, hit that subscribe button, and we'll see you next time. Thanks.